that you'd rather forget. Crusade to the days of rage.
Stop showing us your peaks, Randy.
I'd like to see your peaks, milady.
You already did.
Arken. Yeah, I did at the peaks. It was one of the greatest moments of my
I
life.
don't get over things like that.
It's fine. it's just recorded forever for everyone to hear of all time.
Not that it would matter if it was
The
recorded.
immortal
or not,
failure.
Because I would remember forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yep. Forever.
Much like Crow Crom died. Forever.
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 And
Natural
well.
20. Natural
forget
20
well.
again. Natural 6. Natural 6 again.
Yeah. Max 3.
D3. Natural 20. Had to hit 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Had to hit 20 to hit. Had to hit 6. Had
Yeah.
to hit 6.
Yeah.
1 in 25,000 or something like
And
that.
you still try to roll against me. That's amazing. Energy! Excitement!
Excitement.
Gary, are you still fucking here? Gary Busey.
Pathfinder.
The P is for Providence.
It's for pain when I can't roll as good as my DM.
It's obviously from my penis.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 42 of the Adventures in Novus podcast. 42, yes! The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything according to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And yes, we are continuing the tale storyline of our second adventuring party for this episode. As always, all of our socials are in the notes, and we appreciate every comment, good or bad. If you could take the time to give this podcast a 5-star review, we'd really appreciate it. And finally, we do have a Patreon with some fun levels to check out and donate if you can. Thank you, Alex and Jay, for your continued support on the Patreon. Without further ado,
Like and subscribe.
thank you, Gary. Let's just jump into it with a recap on the latest episode from our totally normal companion, Dragon Kid, Dreadnought, Vanguard, Anti-Paladin, Gilgamesh.
Dread Vanguard. Not a Dreadnought.
Oh. Dragon Kid, Dread, Vanguard, Anti-Paladin, Gilgamesh. Not a Dreadnought.
Hello, good peoples of the world. I, Gilgamesh, friend to kind-hearted folks far and wide, am here to tell you that we, after defeating tremor worms, met lovely, puny, nice dwarves in Stormhold, confirmed there's a great power in a giant rock hand, and fell victim to lying, thieving, cheery, nice prince and his right-hand little person, Captain Durin. Somehow they cheated to steal 5,000 gold from Gilgamesh's pockets. Should not murder. What we do next?
Murder? Is it murder, Gilgamesh?
Oh, I have a funny story about murder.
Thank you, Gilgamesh. Good to hear over it and doing well mentally.
You know, I like to put avocado oil up in my anus to get to the prostate. It helps control the size. It's one of the things that I've learned.
That I have heard. That works really well.
Yeah, no, it's a tip from Gary. It's for free for you guys. You guys have been great.
It's a great tip, but would you stop doing it while we're in the room?
That's quite a big funnel you got there, Gary. how much avocado oil do you need?
Have you guys seen the sizes at Costco?
I've never seen so much avocado oil disappear up someone's anus before.
They sell it by the pallet.
That's like $300 in avocados going up your ass.
Hollywood, baby.
I learned this from Diddy.
He probably was at a Diddy party. Guaranteed, Gary Busey.
I can neither confirm
You
nor
think they
deny.
would let him into a Diddy party?
Absolutely.
With those wild eyes?
Who's going to believe what he says?
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yeah, he's perfect.
They don't even have to give him like the MIB like finger, a little tool to him, you know?
When we last left our adventurers, they had just finished a rock bat challenge where Gilgamesh broke his bat on the tiebreaker. It's a shame. It is still mid-afternoon on the 27th of Gosran, also known as Redemption Day. Our adventurers have decided that there's nothing left to do on this island but check what's on the top, where the hand is, seemingly breaking out of the mountain.
Bursting through the mountains.
I wish we'd hit some of the checks, but we didn't.
It's a shame that this game is ruled by dice.
Honestly, yeah.
And you don't get everything you want.
I know.
Just like the real world. It is a small island, and it's not long before you find and follow the narrow trail carved into the side of the mountain, winding ever upward through jagged switchbacks and gravel ridges. The wind picks up with each step, sharp and salty. Far below, the sea churns like a cauldron of ink, but ahead, through gaps in the swirling mist, you begin to see it closer. A colossal stoned hand, fingers curled slightly upward, reaching skyward from its very peak like the island itself is trying to claw free from the storm. But you're not there yet. The trail grows steeper and less defined. Patches of slick moss and shattered rock forcing careful footing. There's about 200 feet ahead of this tight, winding path that is exactly like this. You're either going to have to take a chance with the slipperiness or get creative. As you safely round the next bend, you're going to have to make a choice. So for the next 200 feet, I have a skill challenge. Each player character must accumulate 3 successes before 2 failures as they traverse this hazardous stretch of a winding ledge. Success, you maintain your footing and make steady progress. Failure, you slip and need a reflex save to catch yourself, or you will fall 30 feet down the edge and have to climb back up. The ways to get around this. I will allow my players to get inventive if they can use the following alternate methods. They can use climb +2 if they have rope, pitons, or other tools. Survival to spot safer footholds and drier spots ahead. Rope to tie off or assist others. Or magic, because magic. What do you do?
Randy has light steps. A ninja with this trick learns to move while barely touching the surface underneath him. As a full round action, he can move up to twice his speed, ignoring difficult terrain. While moving in this way, any surface will support him no matter how much he weighs. This allows him to move across water, lava, or even the thinnest tree branches. He must end his move on a surface that can support him normally. He cannot move across air in this way, nor can he walk up walls or other vertical surfaces. When moving in this way, he does not take damage from surfaces or hazards that react to being touched, such as lava or caltrips, nor does he need to make acrobatics checks to avoid falling on slippery or rough surfaces. Finally, when using light steps, the ninja ignores any mechanical traps that use a location-based trigger.
Hold on. Rules master. Keep the center out. It's 200 feet, and he said 1 full action.
I heard it too. I think it would be up to you. I would allow it, first of all, honestly.
Okay, that means something.
So if you really wanted to be sticky about it, he would technically need a spot to stop at the end of each turn.
Yeah.
To do that each turn.
Okay.
A handhold.
But it's up to you.
Yeah.
So personally, I would allow it, but
There are a
it's
few benefits to being a ninja, and this is one of them.
that's how I feel.
What do you
So
mean?
my next question is, do you just move across and leave your party behind?
Well, first of all, for the record, being a ninja is super freaking sweet. Okay, so I don't even know what you think you're saying, but it sounds pretty ridiculous.
What do you mean
okay?
the only benefit?
No, I was going to offer to bring a rope with me so that I may relay the rope back downwards and assist my teammates up the slippery surface.
And how long is the rope you have, sir?
Well, I was going to discuss it with everybody to see what we have.
Allow me to take a step back, and you guys take it over.
This looks impossible. I think we should go back.
Nonsense, Gilgamesh. Where there's a will, there's a way. We could get up there.
I have no will.
Will's dead.
That hurts.
I feel,
That hurts me deep in my soul.
Yes.
The biggest will save fail ever.
I feel like we can do it. I have some pittons and a 50-foot rope.
I've got some rope.
Arken has a beautiful way up the mountain. As the caster.
Randy, do you have any additional rope?
1 second, let me check here.
If you have a rogue's kit, it's got.
I do indeed have a rogue's kit.
Who would like to go up first? Gilgamesh, you look the most in denial about getting up there. So Arken walks up to Gilgamesh and casts levitate on him.
He's like awkwardly floating up in the air.
And as a movement action, I can basically direct you 20 feet per round for
Okay.
a total of 6 minutes.
Wow.
Wait, hold on.
So
What's happening to me right now?
There's one willing creature. Gilgamesh?
And you see Gilgamesh flailing his arms and his legs kind of kicking out all different
somebody who doesn't know
directions.
how to swim it's in like shallow water. Just,
Wait. Oh, I see. This isn't so bad.
Go! And he puts his hand forward as if he thinks he's gonna go like Superman or something, and he totally doesn't.
He keeps moving at the same speed.
Yeah. He thinks he's flying, but it's just Arken.
If you just believe, put a clear picture of the things that make you happy in your head, Gilgamesh.
And that can get him 200 feet, your levitate?
Easily.
Okay.
Super
I have
cool pose.
I have 6 minutes
Okay.
of
Yeah,
the spell, and it moves 20 feet per round.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as soon as Derek's like, you're going to have to do something with this, I'm like, I think I have spells for this.
That's why we have such spells.
Yeah. Yeah, Arken will guide him up there, and when she sort of sets him down safely up at the top, she will cast levitate on herself and work her way up as well.
Hold on, though, is it touch? Because if you're gonna trying to cast it on the others, then that
No,
will
I
not
would
work.
I would assume he was pulling him up on the rope, so I guess I would wait for them to go up.
Wait to see if they're safe first, see if they go, and then
Yeah.
you go yourself? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so first order of business was getting Gilgamesh up, so Arken will set him down safely up at the top.
Yeah, Gilgamesh is safely across.
And Gilgamesh kind of finally lands at the top and settles down, places his feet, kind of stomps, digs into the dirt a little. Acceptable.
What?
And,
We're 200 feet away.
yeah, and he looks back and with a big stupid grin on his face.
Big dragon
Yeah.
in moss, smiling.
And he puts a thumb up. It looks strange.
Good teammate, do good.
Well, then after you, boys. Randy, you seem pretty capable of making your way up there.
Randy shall take this opportunity to look super cool in front of Arken, and he's going to run like a lightning bolt straight up the so-called slippery surface super easily with my light steps ability.
So Randy, no problem, rips it up the mountain, hoping to impress Arken. Now we just have Arken and Salazar to traverse this slippery 200 feet.
Arken will look over at Salazar and go, need a lift.
he looks up. He looks at the pitons in his hand that he was going to give to Randy, who's now gone. And he goes, yes. He puts it back in his kit.
Not used to asking for help, I assume.
Yeah.
The
He just,
one
he just,
time I
holds
could
out-
use these pitons in my
Oh.
entire life.
Yeah, holds out his hand. Just touch me already.
Oh, it is personal or close.
Close being
A kiss on
25 feet. Plus 25 feet per 2 levels.
still not the 200 feet though. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to do it first.
You hear from the top, "Hey, Salazar, why don't you just turn into a bat?"
And Gilgamesh standing beside Randy is just like, good one.
That was a good one, Randy.
Randy.
You just made the kill list.
Kill Randy, bad joke.
I will never forget insult to me.
Yeah, Salazar, we'll call you Batman. And he casts levitate on Salazar. And sends him up.
Yeah. And just to make it seem like he did kind of turn into a bat, he's gonna just like flap his arms, like little arms all the way up. Yeah.
But it's,
right.
6 seconds later, I can cast it on myself, and then we'll both float up together. So I'm not waiting for me.
Oh, nice.
It's not like a concentration spell.
Yeah.
So imperceptible to everybody else. But as Arken is casting this spell, it seems to sort of shake her for a second. She kind of just has a moment of kind of warding off some sounds or some voices, and I guess unseen to everybody else as they're sort of floating up this way. Arken looks back down to where they just were, and it fades in and out of her vision very quickly, but she sees a couple faces of different fallen soldiers, children and stuff like that. Like all these sort of ghostly faces are sort of seen around her, and then you can see those ones that are down there, they're just sort of looking back up at her, and then they'll disappear just as quickly. But then she looks down, and like holding her up as they're floating up is some of these sort of ghostly hands, and she looks up, and they're carrying everybody else on the way up as well.
Creepy.
Gilgamesh was up there at the top and standing by himself. He got kind of bored, and starts jamming his head, and you can see him. He's moving his head to the beat, the ultra heavy beats of the drum and bass, and he just, this is good. And he's thinking he's doing perception checks, but they've all failed.
So, unfortunately for me, this group has creatively, successfully gone across this 200-foot slippery section and levitated across and ninja'd across safely. And now there's another bend, and as you safely round the next bend, you come across a dwarf hunched near a pile of smooth stones near the cliff's edge. He's painting faces on each one. Crude, childlike smears in black soot and crab blood. They're arranged in a circle around him, and he speaks to them in a whisper, nodding solemnly between sentences. Without looking up, he picks one up and throws the stone off the cliff. Then another, then another. Then he turns and says something in Dwarven, which you don't understand, which is a damn shame. He pats it, tucks it in his satchel, and goes back to painting. He doesn't acknowledge you, just seems to hum what must be a lullaby to these rocks.
All right, I'll get ready. He starts to draw his kukri. I mean, puts it back. Never mind.
But just, you guys don't have to do anything with this dwarf. You guys can do whatever you want. There's just crazy dwarves on the island, and this is one of them.
Perhaps we should just ignore this one.
This is the one we know. This is Drogar
Potentially, this is Drogar Flintbane.
Flintbane.
Potentially. Or it could be a crazy dwarf. Excuse me, dwarf.
Dwarf looks up to you.
Are you Drogar Flintbane?
He shakes his head.
Where is he?
He shrugs.
Do better.
He shows you a rock with a face he's painted on it. And he goes, "Brar, brar, brar, brar," in Dwarven.
I think it's him.
Again, just like the last time. I don't think so.
No, that was different. Salazar.
He chucks the rock off the cliff and starts painting another face on another one.
He's not worth our time. Let us keep going.
Gilgamesh would like to walk up to him.
He is painting a face on a rock.
Dwarf,
He looks up at you.
are you sure you're not Drogar Flintbane?
He shakes his head.
I would like to make an intimidate check
All right.
as he kind of growls at him and bares his teeth.
Yep.
If you're Drogar, tell me now.
Okay.
21.
21.
Get that off a 3.
He just looks terrified and starts urinating himself.
Ugh. It's just brown.
Can Randy step in here and maybe try some diplomacy?
No, it's not him. Let's go. And Gilgamesh keeps walking up the mountain. You can do whatever you want.
These are some really cool faces, man. I really like what you're doing here. Maybe you want to talk about it a bit, Drogar.
Nice. Let's see.
He pulls the pee pants like a little bit away from his like skin and tries to like shake it and draw it off. And he looks up at you and he shows you a face on a rock. He smiles and he throws it off the cliff.
damn it. There's nothing to be got. That was a 27 diplomacy.
He doesn't speak the same language as you.
You can't read my face? I mean, I did.
He only understood two things, and that's Drogar Flintvane.
And growl.
Yeah.
Let us be on our way.
Salazar's going to, as they're like walking away, stand there for a second, look at the dwarf, look at the cliff edge, look at the dwarf, look at the cliff edge. Thought I'd done it.
He looks up at you, and he throws a rock at your face.
Does it have a face on it?
Yeah.
Roll to hit.
That's fair.
Does it hit him?
Oh, what's your roll?
No,
you rolled a hit.
have to roll.
You threw-
Yeah, I forgot. Oh, he misses.
So he just kind of cock his head to the side and look up at the companions. Where are the companions? Like the rest of these guys?
Yeah, they're 20 feet up the trail.
20 feet.
He starts rubbing another rock on the pee stain of his pants. He's glaring at you, and he's about to wind up again. he throws another rock. Oh, he misses again, even worse than before.
Salazar just say to him, "You are the luckiest dwarf on the island," and we'll turn and walk and follow his companions.
All right. So Salazar shows some restraint. And like I said, it's late afternoon, early evening now as you go around the last bend up the small mountain. And all of a sudden you hear nonsensical shouting in Dwarven. The air near the hand feels unnervingly cold and still, like the moment before lightning strikes. What do you do?
Sorry, how far away do we think the yelling is?
Around the last bend.
Like 50-ish feet.
Even less than that. You're about to turn, and the whole thing is going to be right in front of you.
We think it'll just around the bend. Okay, I'm going to detect magic from here.
You detect magic. You detect magic 60 feet away near the top of the mountain. A magic unlike you've ever felt before in your life. Which is strange because every time you have detected magic, you've been able to pinpoint exactly what kind of magic it is. And for the first time in your life, you are detecting a magic unknown to you.
What do you see?
Give pause, everyone. There's a magic I've never felt before. It's not of this world, not of this land. I've never seen anything like that, even back in my homeland.
You feel it too, Arken. I've noticed every time we get close. The magic is undeniable.
I don't say this often, but keep it in your pants, Randy.
Wait. I, Gilgamesh, friend of you fine folk,
Looks at them all individually.
as all paladins of this good land can detect good. So I will detect if everything is good in front of us, and give me a moment, please.
And Gilgamesh will detect good.
All paladins can do this.
Towards that direction.
Is this a real detect good?
Yes.
Okay.
Paladins detect evil.
Yeah.
I will detect good, please.
Yeah.
Because he's so
60
friendly.
feet as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for all of the goodness in the world, and I wish to find it and harness the good as I am.
Just a friendly guy looking for friends. Nothing unusual here.
Randy is correct.
So Gilgamesh does not detect anything.
All right. Well, why
There is no good up there. We must destroy whatever we find with furious vengeance.
And you did hear Dwarven shouting.
And Gilgamesh will draw his scythe.
all right. Why? Again, this is the second time this has been said in the last 5 minutes, but why don't you keep that in your pants for a second? Randy and I can go forward in quiet. See what's up there with our own eyes before you clanking individuals follow us behind.
Shadow Brothers.
Roll a stealth check.
I think this is wise. Tell us what you see. Gilgamesh, just
And you can see it's taking all of Gilgamesh's resolve. He's closing his eyes. He's turning his head side to side. Yes, yes, of course, friends. That's the good and prudent course of action.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. 31.
Just an
20. We'll overlap them in editing.
Should probably say it in Salazar's voice. 31.
Try it again.
30.
20.
so hard to hear.
So a 20 and a 31. So you guys will sneak around and take a look around this last bend. And the first thing you see is a massive stone hand, 20 feet high, rising out from the top of the peak. The second thing you see is a dwarf bashing his head into the side of the hand, screaming in Dwarvish. That is all.
Randy, these insane dwarves are getting tiresome.
I mean, they do seem pretty silly. I don't know why they had to kind of hit their head on everything.
It's also very challenging not being able to speak to them.
Smash!
It's a terrible language.
Maybe we should have brought up one of the dwarves with us, some kind of interpreter. 20/20 hindsight, huh, Salazar?
The extra little. So good, Mike. So good.
Can't take it.
Amazing.
I'm crying.
To be perfectly frank, this is the first time where I've actually needed to speak to someone.
Well, maybe you should give it a try sometime, Salazar. You're not such a bad guy. I mean, you're a little creepy, but, everyone's got a bit of creepiness to them,
Yes, we all manifest it in different ways, that's for sure. I guess we'll get the others. And Salazar will turn around and just basically walk back around the corner to you guys and just motion for them to come.
Start heading forward.
we will proceed.
What a waste of a stealth check.
Go on.
And I guess we'll approach the guy who must be Drogar Flintbane, I would imagine.
Friends, as I've got this. Drogar Flintbane. Of course. It is you.
Third time's the charm.
And Gilgamesh kind of like elbows, like nudges him.
The dwarf ahead of you, as you approach to him, slumps to his knees, muttering incoherently to himself. He starts to rock in place, lost in the madness of his obsession.
You see, friends. Of course. It is him. And Gilgamesh will walk steadily towards him. He'll put his scythe away now, but he will walk implacably towards the dwarf.
He looks up at you.
Towering.
Yeah.
6 feet above him.
Towering figure. He's got blood dripping down from his forehead. And he just says, "Who the fuck are you? Blah. Don't matter. Don't care. Wait. Do you know a damn thing about opening doors? Real doors. Doors what won't open. Doors would laugh at you when you knock."
Yes, doors are always laughing at me too. I don't care for it.
Who's there?
Doors! Doors! The bloody door! Can't get past the bloody door! Don't know it's a door. Don't you tell me it's not a door.
I didn't tell you it's not a door. It is a door.
We come seeking a door.
Doors are always the hardest to get past, I find.
How many games?
Oh man,
Defeated by a locked door.
fucking doors.
There she is, stranger. The five-fingered curse, I calls it. Big as a god, stubborn as one too. Makes you feel small, don't it? Makes you feel like you're smaller. Not just talking stones all these years. No. They talk back. They do. Whispering. Secrets like old lovers.
Gilgamesh is not small, but I hear the whispers.
What do these whispers say to you, Mr. Drogar?
They say too perfect. Makes me teeth itch.
What?
What if these
teeth. May I examine them?
Sure. Tried chisels, fires, singing to it, nothing. She just sits there, smug, watching, judging, waiting.
Gilgamesh will kind of stare at his mouth, trying to see his teeth.
You don't know anything about his teeth.
No, but just that he'd mentioned. I understand. I'm not actually metagaming it, I promise.
So what you see is a disheveled, wild-eyed dwarf. His beard tangled and crusted with salt and dirt. He wears a worn miner's vest. His boots are mismatched. His beaten hands are stained black with stone dust, while his back is weighed down with tools, most of them chipped down, rusted down to useless stubs. His breath comes in ragged gasps, and he shouts at the stone.
Have you tried looking around? I mean, maybe there's some kind of like secret to this door, you know? Maybe hitting it with your bare fist is not a very smart idea.
I've kissed every kind of rock. This ain't any kind I know. It's too quiet, too perfect.
You kissed the rock?
Aye.
Who among us hasn't kissed rocks?
I agree with the whatever the fuck you are. You know doors though.
Show us where this door is supposed to be.
I'll show you, but don't touch them plates. Do not move them around. Many a dwarf died on this cursed rock just fidgeting around with them damn plates. It can't be the plates, damn it. I've seen them. I've tried every which ways, but sideways and back again.
Maybe we try sideways and back again.
But you've touched them, but you're still here.
I have not touched the plates. No plates. Not touching the plates. Other way in the door. There's other ways in the door.
Randy would like to perceive the door.
Yeah, figure out what the fuck he's talking about.
Also, as they're walking up, because I detected magic and I detected the presence of the magic before, I would like to do that now towards the hand. Because you said it was a little bit above.
Yeah.
Where I was detecting the magic, so I'd like to see where that is.
Yep.
And then
Yep. So, you see, where he was bashing his head was on the hand. But you see in the palm of the hand a narrow, smooth tunnel that leads into an ornate chamber, perfectly cut from an unnatural, deep blue metallic stone. Stone of the color of deep ocean. Metallic bluish and faintly humming with unnatural stillness. So this is inside the palm of the hand where they've dug in, and there's a chamber, and this chamber has the deep metallic stone inside. The strange color seems to shimmer faintly in the dim light. This is the magic you detected. The walls are flawless, and despite the efforts of the dwarves, the stone inside the hand has not yielded to their tools. Inside this chamber is a circular door, 8 feet tall. Picture on the Instagram. Its surface is marked with ancient symbols and faint gold inlay that shines in the darkness all around the door. So you guys know that you've been warned that dwarves have died pushing and playing with these plates, and that this dwarf, Drogar Flintvane, is afraid to even touch them. He's seen other dwarves die trying to get in, and he's mad trying to find a different way. He can't imagine that the plates are the solution because he's seen so many dwarves try to push these plates. And this is what's inside the palm of the hand, inside the maybe statue, maybe not, we don't know. It's just a hand on top of a mountain.
So there's like the stone hand, and they've gone up and
They've
quarried through like the palm of the hand
exactly
to find this room.
To find this room with a door that they cannot get in.
No.
So they have tried for so long that Drogar is just declared insane with the shell dwarf and the rock face painting dwarf.
It's
very
both
common.
totally alive.
Yeah, who are both fine. You know, they're going to live long lives. And this door is where you detect this magic.
Randy would like to perceive.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
That is a 25.
16.
With Randy's 25, you notice scorch marks, tool scratches, and explosive residue. Clear signs of many attempts, but the door remains intact, impervious to the damage.
Interesting. It looks like they have tried everything to get in through this door. Doesn't seem to be making a dent.
On the 4 plates, you see a picture. Plate 1, a swaddled infant lies within the curve of a spiral shell. The shell is partially buried in soil, and tiny roots stretch out like veins. A faint, ghostly hand seems to cradle the infant from beneath. Plate 2. A robed figure walks along a winding stone path surrounded by village, trees, stars. Along the path are tiny carvings of tools, weapons, books, and lovers. The figure casts a long shadow behind them. Plate 3. A shrouded figure lies atop the stone slab, arms crossed. Around the slab are weeping figures. Above, a raven-like bird flies upward, holding a spiral in its beak. Beneath the slab, faint skeletons are etched into the stone, silent observers. Plate 4. An endless staircase rises into a misty spiral. At its peak, a silhouette stands at a great arched doorway, flooded in white light. In the mist, faint stars, skeletal hands, and blooming flowers intermingle.
Seems like it's maybe the course of somebody's life. Start as a baby, you do your job, and then you die, and then you go to heaven.
For this door, if you have religion, now would be a great time to roll a religion check.
Knowledge, religion. Fuck. 7.
19.
With a 19 religion, Gilgamesh knows that these spirals are similar to the goddess Pharasma, but he can't quite understand what Pharasma has to do with this door. But he does notice the spirals coming again and again in the plate's images.
These spirals, something to do with Pharasma. Weak god. But something. I don't know what.
Okay, so there's also writing on this door in 2 different languages, neither of which you understand or speak.
As Arken was detecting magic, is any of the writing magical?
The whole door is that magic that you've never felt before. The entire door.
Okay.
And now that you're here, you detect magic 60 feet beyond that door.
I feel something beyond this door. Obviously, it's why we're here. I'm certain of it. So Arken would like to cast Read Magic.
So you cast Read Magic on the magical inscription on the door. And all of a sudden, the words turn into common. And you read, "Only those who walk the path of fate may enter."
Okay, and Arken will point this out. Start pointing it out to the group, and she'll be like,
I could have told you that! Half of it's in Dwarven.
well, thanks, Drogar.
Starts bashing his head against the wall again.
Oh, well, while you're here, Drogar, I had a question for you. When the other dwarves were touching these, were other people present in the room, or was it just the person who was touching them that died?
The person touching the plate will die. You touch a plate, you're gonna fucking die.
Do you know what plates they had touched previously?
I kind of forgot, and my head hurts. I do not know. I'm the only one that believes it's a fucking door. We need to blast it. We need to blast it. We need more explosives.
We believe it's a door. I
Go
am
on,
the one who
wise
walked
man.
the path of fate. Gilgamesh can probably walk into this without issue.
Everyone stand back. Let the big man go.
Has there ever been a time where someone touched one of the plates and they didn't immediately die?
I don't remember. I've been hitting my head against this rock for the last 6 hours screaming, why won't the door open?
I mean, there's 4 plates. I mean, come on. It's only 4.
Yeah, touch one. And he takes 10 steps backwards.
Did the head hitting of rocks help?
I don't think so.
There are 4 inscriptions and 4 of us. Perhaps we press them at the same time.
And then maybe we all die.
Or maybe they're tied to each one of us.
Or maybe there's a sequence.
Or maybe Gilgamesh lives and you all die.
I do have a mage hand as well.
Dwarf, what do you know of Pharasma? I learned of this as a youngling, but it was so boring. It's hard to remember all the details.
I do not know what these symbols mean or what pharasma is. It's not like any clanstone, rune craft, or god mark I've ever seen, but they feel important. Like they're watching you, judging you, seeing if you're ready. Ah! Smashes his head against the rock again.
Sure, of course. Judging. Yes, this I understand. Do any of the dwarves, the little tiny dwarves, do they teach of pharasma?
No, we do not teach of pharasma. What use of pharasma do we have on an island with a storm that we cannot leave, with a door we cannot open?
The spirals are to do with pharasma.
Okay. Spiral away.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe go in a circle. Have you tried that, winged man?
Wings?
Do you not have wings?
No.
Then I must be hallucinating from hitting my head against this fucking stone over and over and again. There's more blood dripping down his face.
Is this calling for an acrobatics routine? Is that what we're suggesting here?
I do not think you've been listening.
I mean, you just said spin it around. I'm pretty good at,
I'm just gonna stand over here, and you can try pushing the fucking plates.
Well, that's a different thing than what I said.
Yeah, a spin and push. So you guys have been thinking about this a long time. An hour goes by. The sun begins to set on the horizon.
Where's that flying thing? Bring it here. Maybe it can help.
You think Crom can help with this?
I don't know.
Crom is very much still a wild animal, and after the shipwreck, flew off into the island somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if you want to summon him, there's only one person who can.
Arken reaches out with a mind and calls Crom up to them at the hand. She'll sort of climb back out on top of the hand.
Okay. And you're sending out the feeling of?
A feeling of need and understanding to sort of know that I think Crom might be a pivotal piece to helping us get into this.
With a mouthful of moss, Crom appears from a random part of the mountain, soars up into the air, almost enough to catch the top part of the tempest, and swings back down and lands on top of the fingers next to Arken, chewing on the moss.
Hello, creature flying. Me, Gilgamesh. You, friend.
And again, Crom is a star drakeling.
Yes.
He's got shooting stars shooting across his scales. A majestic creature nods at Gilgamesh with a mouthful of moss, happily eating away. And it looks at Arken, awaiting another order.
Arken will sort of project sort of the idea of mystery and wonder down in the cave. So, and then we'll sort of descend into the hand and show them the door.
Crom looks at you curiously, then looks at the door, and then finishes its moss, grabs a stick, and puts it at your feet.
Arken goes, oh, I think I know what this is. And we'll go back up out of the hand and wait for Crom to come out and then whip the stick as far as she can.
Yeah, Crom flies out, catches a stick, brings it back, lands it at your feet, wags its tail, and looks up at you very happily.
Okay, and after all this, then Arken sort of looks up from there and looks at Gilgamesh and goes, what's the plan?
Give me that, touchy thing. But don't screw it up this time. Like with the bat, that was you. Not me. You.
Arken will sort through what he said there and cast guidance on Gilgamesh.
Everyone leave me alone. And
Gilgamesh sits down in front of the 4 plates and looks at them all, thinking about his teachings and trying to remember all those terrible, boring lectures on all the other stupid gods that just don't matter. Then there was that one Pharasma who cares? Something about spirals and other things. God, he was dumb, but there's something there. He was there. He just wasn't listening all that much. And doesn't remember.
If you have intelligence and you want to roll on a plate, you do it.
Okay, so everybody roll on plate 1.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
infant.
Plate
Yeah.
number 1. 13.
9.
15.
14.
With a 15, Arken noticed at first glance it's just a baby. But the spiral shell around it, the roots, and the spectral hand suggest something more. Maybe a beginning, a seed, a soul entering the world.
I think this is, like Randy suggested at the start, this is about beginnings and setting down roots. And it really follows through with both mankind or humanoids and the earth itself sort of fighting back. So you see that growing here, but spiraling both down and up at the same time. Now we look at the
Number
wandering
2.
stranger path. 7.
17.
Nice.
11.
11.
With the 17, you notice this plate looks busy, Salazar, alive with motion and choice. This robed figure is clearly on a journey.
I don't know what it is.
I can't make heads or tails of it.
It seems like they are under motion and choice on a journey.
Looks like somebody living their best life.
The world seems vibrant and flourishing. There's technology and love.
What about this one?
3.
18.
Also 18.
Randy's eyes seem to gloss over.
Did you catch my side boob?
As he thinks of Hot Pockets and
He's
Hot moss.
completely in another dimension.
I never did get that moss pocket.
Salazar and Gilgamesh both realize something at the same time. The central figure is clearly dead. The bird flying upward with the spiral hints at something more, like souls are moving on. There is grief here, but also reverence. The cycle continues.
Randy is hearing things in his head.
Number 4.
wonder about the 4th.
The hooting and hollering of chimpanzees echoes in his brain.
Jesus, I'm rolling well. 19.
10.
13.
The hooting continues.
Salazar, continually on point, noticed that this image is otherworldly. This person's journey has ended or begun again.
But it is not in the circle, right? So if it is
No.
going 1, 2, 3, 4, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's what I said.
Do we move the plates or we touch them? I thought we touched them like buttons.
I don't know.
Let us maybe examine this mechanism, figure out how it works. I can touch it if you'd like.
What about, who's the young? Randy. You're young. You're kind of like an infant. Why don't you touch that one?
I don't know if that's such a good idea, Gilgamesh. I mean, I know I am a super awesome and very able ninja.
You are.
With very
The
fast
best.
reflexes.
Best ninja of all time.
There's a chance.
Never
that-
been a better ninja.
You boys keep thinking with the wrong head. And as they're standing back, Arken would like to try to cast Mage Hand and push in the infant block. I would make everybody stand
I didn't hear any of you guys stand back.
that's
I
what I
heard
mean.
Mage Hand.
No, I think we
Yeah.
just got murdered.
So I'm sorry,
No.
but this Mage Hand, it's the way this game is played.
I can imagine we weren't making out with the stone.
but we'd be probably like 10, 15 feet away.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's
just-
okay.
I would have
staring
warned.
at it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
You
I mean-
would have, but
But you said cast it
Didn't.
and pushed it.
yeah. Therefore, you push the first plate with the swaddled
Sure, it'll be
infant,
fine.
and you hear a insert sound.
Of what?
We'll find out.
Nothing happens.
Perhaps you should warn us better next time.
Yup.
But otherwise, good job. Would you like to do that for a second one? Takes 10 feet back.
By the 9 hammers, it's moving! It's moving! I knew it wasn't just a wall. I knew it! Touch another one. He steps back another 5 feet.
Are you telling us Arken is the first one to touch the baby one?
I
Fuck, these dwarves are stupid.
I don't think it's that. It's something else. Let's back up. Let's back up.
Everyone stand back. I'm going to touch another one.
Yes.
Perhaps we should stand 40 feet back then, if possible.
Yeah.
From 40 feet away?
Yeah.
So you advise everyone to be 40 feet away.
Yes. Yeah, they'll be behind me.
Yeah,
Another
sure.
5
If
feet.
it's possible, again, we don't
Yeah.
know really how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will also project images for Crom to go be free and eat moss.
Yeah, and he happily does so.
I don't think it's kind of weird that Arken had summoned a hand inside of another hand. I guess you could say it's really hand in hand.
Nice.
So Arken will look to the group and say, the traveler next. And she'll push the second one. The one to the...
The one with the robed figure.
Correct.
And the mage hand will push on this second plate. Insert sound.
Of explosion and death?
Maybe.
Or of mechanical
Success.
clicking?
Click.
We'll find out.
Nothing happens bad.
Okay. Then I'll look around because Salazar got most of it. Then sort of the bottom left.
I believe the shrouded figure is the next one. The symbolism of death.
Which is for us 3
Yes, the bottom
left.
Bottom left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Arken will then move the hand down towards the left and lower and hit what we believe to be the third piece.
The mage hand pushes on the third piece, the one with the shrouded figure. Insert sound. Click. By Torag's beard, no one's made it this far before. I think you guys are gonna do it.
Yeah, don't screw it up now, huh?
There's only one left.
Arken touches the baby.
What are the odds? Don't hit the same one twice. Whatever you do, you guys are so close. I wish I could remember.
We've made it this far 90 times.
It blows my mind.
think it's gonna be another one.
I always push the baby twice.
We get this far and then we hit the baby.
Yeah.
And Arken will move to the last unpressed stone and push it in with the hand.
Insert sound.
Fuck.
Click. A 20-foot radius burst. No, I'm just joking. The door starts to rumble. A spiraling comet shines on the door as it spins and casts itself to the side and rolls open. As the final panel slides into place, the entire chamber seems to exhale. The golden inlay on the door pulses with light, and with a slow groan of age and magic, the great circular door turns in and disappears into the side of the mountain. Cool air drifts out as the door opens. Happy click. It's open! By the stone, it's open! I cannot believe! Thank you, Toig! Ha-ha! Last one's in is rotten crab meat and twice as smelly! Drogar doesn't wait. With arms raised in triumph, he barrels into the darkness, boots slamming across the flawless floor. In the blink of an eye, blue lightning erupts from the ceiling, floor, and walls, a jagged bolt slamming straight into Drogar's chest. The blast lights up the chamber like a forge, searing arcs of power dancing along the walls, sending his body into a violent twitch as the smell of scorched beer and cooked leather fills the air. He crumples mid-step, smoke rising from his twitching limbs, and then silence except for the echoing drip of the chamber beyond.
Jesus Christ. So he's just dead?
Yeah.
Drogar, no!
Well, at least now they have a way to cook the meat.
Maybe we get some moss pockets up here, you think?
The moss pockets are people!
That's great. It's Soylent Green.
Oh, man.
As the sun begins to set, the mountain rumbles. Far in the distance, you see the darkest of purple light shining through the sky, flying towards exactly where you are. It concentrates itself deep into the tip of the hand and down into the mountain. The whole mountain rumbles and shakes like an earthquake, and the storm dissipates. What do you do?
That was something. Gilgamesh will walk up to Drogar's body.
Yeah.
How does he look?
He looks crispy.
And Gilgamesh will kind of like, with a gauntleted toe, kind of poke him, kicking at him a little.
He is very dead.
And he kind of goes down to his hands and knees and I will use my healing powers on this dwarf. And he pokes him a couple times.
He is still charred and black and forever dead.
There's nothing I can do for him.
At this point, Gilgamesh is now past threshold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like,
Well, I walked up to where he
up to the
lightninged anyway.
He's
yeah.
not past Drogar.
No, but I'm where Drogar
Yeah,
got lightninged
Yeah.
or whatever.
Perhaps the inscription means something. If Gilgamesh can pass the threshold,
I told you that before.
maybe we all can.
But more importantly, look around.
And Gilgamesh points to the sky.
There's no more storm. The eye of Abednego is done.
Nothing but night sky as far as you can see as the sun finally tips beyond the horizon and darkness.
Question about when the sort of all the purple light came to us. It went in and past us and into the door.
Absolutely. It went down the hand, straight down into the mountain.
and then that dissipated the
And it
storm.
dissipated the storm.
So Arken would like to detect magic now through the door because before when she detected something 60 feet on.
Yeah.
So now she would like to detect it with the door open to see what she can see that way.
You see a long spiraling staircase, and you detect nothing but magic all the way down.
So when I just through the door, there is 60, a staircase starts right away and it goes down, or there's a room with a staircase.
There's a couple, let's say there's 20 feet of landing, and then the spiraling staircase starts its way down. Every step, still the door, and where Drogar died, you feel the same magic.
It's that plasma thing again. Spiraling staircases, purple lights. Ugh. Dreadfully boring.
Tread carefully. I'm detecting magic on every step on the way down. Maybe if we find our dwarf friend further down the mountain, he had those stones. Maybe he can throw some of those faces down there for us.
It's good. Yes, we should go back and get him. He seemed like a good fellow. Friend, if I may say.
Would you like me to go down and get him?
These
Yes.
are all options.
I mean, you may be detecting magic, but I'm detecting the very strong odor of scorched beard hair, and it reeks in here. Can we please take a breather?
Yes, we could take this opportunity to have a rest as well. Here, I have a suggestion. Why don't we all set up camp outside the hand? I will go down the mountain and find our dwarven friend and come back up with him.
I think that's a good idea, but maybe we should check one thing. We're all in agreement, right? This creature,
He points at Drogar.
very scorched and dead, right? You saw Gilgamesh, me, friend, try good healing powers and did nothing. Couldn't save him. No one can save him, right?
I mean, I saw you poke him.
I would confess.
Exactly. So you understand, right, Salazar?
Is that how your healing works?
Good, so you do understand.
All right.
So,
Yes, I believe he's beyond our touch now.
Randy, yes?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, come on. Do you not smell that?
He's just got like a headache from the steak.
Gilgamesh walks over and grabs Drogar.
Yeah.
Kind of, does he have shirt left?
No, he is a charred body.
Okay. He just grabs him by like the back, like two hands, one by the back of the neck, one kind of, he reached under like his belly and
cocked.
just lifts him up and throws him down the staircase.
terrible lightning on every step he touches down that staircase comes out and fries him even more, making whatever is left to burn left on his body stink even more. As you just see this like terrible lightning come from the walls, the ceilings, and the floor, strike his dead body even more and scorch whatever is left to him.
Ooh, everyone loves a slinky.
It's like when a mosquito gets stuck in the bug zapper.
And now he's definitely dead. If he wasn't, he is definitely.
He was already dead.
Even like all possibilities
already
of
dead.
fantasy death are now nullified. Even like
Gilgamesh healed him, and it didn't help. He's dead.
He is now dust.
He wakes up on the second to
He
last
is
step.
literally just
Goes, "I'm
black
okay."
dust. So you can't even do that again.
Well, that's good information. One moment. And Gilgamesh walks back out of the place and grabs, like, tries to find like a rock or a stick or, well, I guess not stick, but anything.
Yeah.
And comes back with it, tosses that down as well.
Yeah. And you toss down the rock and nothing happens.
You see? He did not walk the path of fate.
Ooh.
Gilgamesh can walk the path of fate. Gilgamesh confidently walks up, knowing that he walks the path of fate.
Yeah.
And confidently steps onto the first step of the spiral staircase.
So that's where Drogar has been before, because that's where he threw his dead body.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And there's a pile of ashes.
Yeah.
Do you take another step
I just take the first step.
past the ashes?
I take the first step.
On the ashes. Or
I just need to know if you're past it.
I understand, and I'm telling you, I only take the first step.
So you're not at the ashes yet.
Well, the spiral staircase.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
far?
because you're saying he bounced on a bunch of steps?
Yeah.
Okay, I walk to him.
Yeah.
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 Do I make it?
Yeah. Yeah. If you're to him, you make it.
You see? Gilgamesh was right. Friend of all of the good folk. Gilgamesh walks the path of fate.
And then he picks up the body.
No, there's just ashes left.
Oh.
We need more dwarves.
How many dwarves down does it go?
I wish I didn't say anything.
No, I was definitely thinking that.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure you knew you were.
Much like my very first day of D&D, of when we found the goblin and tied a rope to him around his neck and threw him down a hallway to trigger any traps.
Yeah.
And then we kept doing that down every hallway. That's my basic plan on this here too.
Yeah.
if you walk the path of fate, Gilgamesh, perhaps you can walk through unharmed.
Perhaps, but more importantly, we need power. And Gilgamesh has power, and his power is over the small creatures of the world, like those little dwarves down in that village. If we just grab 10 or 12 of them, it's not a problem. Or you could walk down there.
I mean, I do have light steps, and I'm a super powerful ninja.
You're right, Randy. Randy could make this as well.
So you believe that if you were to take a step, the fated one, that you would trigger the trap.
I don't think you understand fate.
I don't think you understand fate.
Gilgamesh can do this, but maybe we get dwarves. Maybe we just rest anyway. It's getting late. We can think about this some more.
Sure. Let us set up a fire.
I don't know if we can.
No. There's
Nothing to burn, but
Yeah.
the last thing I crossed off my list was a smokeless fire pellet. But anyway.
I have a torch, so we can make it look like fire.
I have a Bible of Eridan.
Which is funny. It's funny because I bought like the Rogue's kit, which has like 10 torches in it, but I have superior dark vision.
Yeah. Like 120 or something?
Yeah. And now that it's nighttime too, Salazar just cracks his neck. This is much better.
Randy seems a little out of sorts since the perception of the plates, the third one in particular. He's just not all the way there. And, I think I'm ready for some rest, guys.
And Gilgamesh will like put his foot over top of the next step and like kind of just
Hover.
not maybe. Let's make camp. Let's make a camp.
Yeah, you guys can make camp at the base of the hand there. No problemo. You guys got trail rations?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're well fed, well drank, and you have nothing to build a fire. As Crom goes around and searches for more moss, you guys are all in a circle. What do you do?
Milady, would you like to huddle together for some warmth, perhaps?
No.
Okay. All right, that's fine.
But thank you for asking. That shows a lot of initiative.
Yeah, initiative, yeah. Randy turns over. He turns his back to everybody and appears to go to sleep.
He's a strange one. I wonder what Randy's thinking about right now.
So clearly Randy is not first in the watch order.
You guys go. I'll stay up.
Okay.
And I will take the second watch when it is the darkest.
Whoever I see fit will take the second watch.
I have 60 feet of dark.
I will take the second watch. Go to sleep, Gilgamesh.
Arken will disrobe because she can't sleep in her armor.
It's naked, like.
Randy has troubling dreams of his past.
Randy's dream begins. He sees Randall, his father, slumped over the table, ale sloshing in his mug. He stares blankly into the dim lantern light. Randy sits across from him, eyes wide with admiration, mimicking his father's posture. Luann, arms crossed, stands nearby, frustration radiating off her in waves.
Father, tell me again about the deadly fight you had last week. The one with the wicked swordsman. Or did you use the shadow step to dodge his attacks?
What? Yeah. Sure. Shadow step. Dodged him real good.
I knew it. You're the strongest warrior in the land.
Will you stop filling his head with this nonsense? It wasn't a swordsman. It was Anthony, the baker. You got drunk and insulted his sourdough, and he beat the living shit out of you with a rolling pin.
Bah! Rolling pin. Sword. It's all the same in a true battle.
So he was a master of improvised weaponry.
Randall, can you just for once act like a real father? He worships you, and all you do is drink yourself stupid and pretend you're something you ain't.
What's wrong with a little mystery, huh? Boy's got imagination. What do you want me to do? Sit him down and tell him his old man's just another drunk who ain't worth a damn?
Yes.
How could you? Father's a noble warrior, a man of legendary skill. He walks the path of the assassin. His ways are too deadly for common men to understand.
Well, see? Kid gets it.
I swear, Randall, one of these days this boy's gonna wake up and realize the damn fool you are.
He only pretends to be foolish, Mother. It's part of the act. A master of deception never reveals his true strength.
Exactly, kid. Exactly.
Luann throws her hands up in frustration as Randall slides further down in his seat, while Randy continues looking at him with absolute awe. We see Randy's home again 5 years later, cluttered with half-empty bottles, worn-out furniture, and the lingering scent of ale. Randall lounges in his usual spot, barely listening as Luann paces the room, arms crossed, frustration building with each step. It is the day before Randy's 10th birthday.
Randall, you listen to me and you listen good. You will take that boy out for his birthday. You will give him a proper experience. He idolizes you, and all you ever do is sit here, drink, and stink up the place.
Randall grunts, taking another swig from his mug, unbothered.
Boy, fine. Doesn't need any of that bullshit.
For once in your damned life, will you just do something for him? Something that doesn't involve dragging him into one of your rat-infested taverns?
Tavin's got culture. Teaching him things. Real world lessons.
Oh, sure. Because every 10-year-old needs to know exactly how to get thrown out by a bartender before they even hit puberty.
Randall smirks at that, but Luann isn't amused. She marches over, snatching the mug from his hand and throwing it across the room.
This is me pointing a finger at him.
Luann points a finger at Randall.
If you don't take him out for something real, something meaningful, I swear I will make your life so miserable you'll wish for death.
Randall blinks at her. She's never threatened him quite like that before.
I was drinking that.
A pause, a sigh. He rubs his temples, sensing the battle's already lost.
Fine. I'll take him. Just the two of us, huh?
Yes, and no drinking.
Let's not get crazy.
Luann groans, but there's a flicker of relief. Randall, despite his endless flaws, actually listens for once. The dimly lit tavern stinks of stale beer and sweat. Randall walks in, Randy in tow, eyes already scanning for his favorite corner seat. While the bartender's back is turned, busy with a drink, he gestures vaguely at a stool in the farthest, darkest part of the room.
Go sit over there, boy. And don't be seen. Ninjas don't get seen.
Randy, eager to prove himself a stealthy warrior, nods seriously and rushes to his designated hiding spot.
Randall, you pissbag, you're back. The usual 4 or 5 mugs of ale to start.
An hour passes, then 2. Randall has long forgotten the boy as he sinks deeper into his drinks. Randy eventually approaches him, tugging timidly at his father's sleeve.
Father, can we go now?
What do you want? I told you to go stay in the corner.
The bartender, who's been watching this debacle unfold, finally has enough.
That's above, Randall. You dragged your kid in here again. I know you're the worst low-down tosspot in this town's ever seen, but have you no shame? Out! Now! Both of you.
Randall blinks, looks down at his drink, and sees his reflection in the frothy, distorted mess. His face, ugly, warped. His mind suddenly reels, flashing back to his own father, an angry, drunken monster. The memories flood him, eating away at whatever remains of his conscience. In an abrupt, rare moment of clarity, he slams his mug down, an epiphany reached. He stands up and grips Randy's arm.
Let's get you to a real birthday, son.
They walk for hours. The sun sets behind them, casting long shadows as Randall silently battles a war within himself. Randy, thrilled by the journey, chatters excitedly about ninjas, battles, and the heroics of his father. Randall barely hears him, lost in his own regret. They cross a scenic bridge. Randall slows, glancing at the golden glow of dusk reflecting off the water. He hesitates, then turns to Randy solemnly.
Sorry, Randy. Been a bad father. I know you look up to me and all, but I'm just a rotten, stinking drunkard.
He sighs.
I promise you, things are gonna get better. I'm a changed man.
He pulls a small, ancient folding knife from his coat, worn but sharp.
Look, this was my father's. His father before him. And his before him. Now it's yours. Just be careful with that.
Randy's face lights up. For the first time, Randall sees true happiness in his son's eyes. As it approaches nightfall, they reach the city. They find an inn. That night, Randall tucks Randy into bed at the inn. The boy sleeps soundly, clutching the knife like a treasured artifact.
Tomorrow, it's gonna be the best day of your life, my little boy. And get to sleep.
But Randall cannot sleep. His hands tremble. He paces the room. His father's rage, his own failures, it gnaws at him like acid in his veins. An hour or 2 passes. He sits alone, staring at the wall, thoughts clawing at his mind. He needs a drink, just one, to calm his nerves. No more than that. He sneaks out to the adjoining tavern. He has one drink, but his hands won't stop shaking. The voices in his head quiet, but only just. One more drink wouldn't hurt. Morning comes. Randy wakes alone. Finds Randall slumped outside the room in a puddle of vomit.
You promised me a real birthday. Get up, please, Dad.
As Randy kicks his father's boot. Randall groans, barely able to stand. They wander the city, Randall squinting at the blinding daylight, groaning at the noise.
Why are all these people awake at such an ungodly hour?
Father, it's already one hand before noon.
Then they hear the call of a barker, his voice booming across the square, a throng of people standing nearby.
Come one, come all, witness the most magnificent beasts and freaks this land has ever known. Marvels, spectacles, curiosities abound. Nowhere else can they be found. A tiny fee, and everything you shall see. Welcome to Skeeter's Midnight Theater.
Yeah!
Hey, it's nearly noon, not midnight.
Yeah, what the fuck? They wanted the spaghetti.
What, you think I only like to make money at fucking night? Good God, what a moron these guys are. Shut your filthy little mouths, peasants. Now look, you've got me all riled up and cursing in front of all these fine folks. Right this way, 5 gold coins, please.
Randy lets go of his father's hand and eagerly slips into the crowd, sneaking past the lines and entering the tent unnoticed. Randall follows, a slight tremor in his hand, but pauses as he spots a merchant selling drinks. He veers off towards the stall. Inside the tent, Randy moves between cages filled with sickly animals, covered in their own excrement, their eyes dull and lifeless. The zoo is no more than a cruel spectacle. At the end of the exhibits, a cage holds creatures unlike any he's ever seen. Man-like beasts. They have expressive eyes. The sign reads, chimpanzees. One chimp, gaunt and restless, watches Randy closely. The boy, looking each of these creatures in the eyes, one after another, feels an odd, quiet resonance with these trapped chimpanzees. He reaches out his hand. The chimp slowly mirrors the action, reaching back. Their fingers nearly touch. Something slams against the cage violently. It's Randall, drunkenly stumbling.
Look at these hairy bastards. Look like little men, but they're like hairier than my ballsack in winter.
He slaps the cage. The chimps react instantly, screeching, thrashing, eyes flashing with aggression.
Oh, look at you getting pissed. What do you think? I'm scared. I've fought 20 men, each one bigger than the last all in a row. And not even broke a sweat, so fuck off.
He pounds the cage, punctuating each word. The cage shakes violently. The chimps go ballistic. People back away. Randy stumbles, eyes wide.
Why, you freaks, you try to break out of your little cage. Ooh, scary, I get it.
Before Randall can finish his next thought, the chimpanzees quickly shake the cheaply made cage until it breaks open. Randall freezes.
Oh, shit.
Before he can even fully register the situation, the first chimp lunges, grabbing hold of his arm, teeth sinking deep into his flesh.
Ah, get off me, you rat furry bastard.
Another chimp grabs his leg, then another, then 4 more. They tear at him, pulling him to the ground. Their frenzied shrieks drowning out his cries.
Father?
Randy, help me! Ah, they're ripping my sideburn off!
Father?
Randall, wide-eyed, looking in all directions, reaching out and screaming.
Down 38! Randy, do something! Help me! You can use the knife! Randy! Randy, they've got my testicles! Both of them! They're coming back for more, Randy! Why didn't you use the knife? They're wearing my scalp as a mannequin head. I don't know what's going on.
Randy, overwhelmed with shock, watches his father slowly get mauled and torn to pieces by these animals. He tries to fumble the knife out, but his hands are far too shaky to open the stiff folding knife. The zoo patrons are screaming and running away. The guards rush forward, swords drawn, but it's far too late. Randall is already a mangled mess of torn flesh and desperate, fading cries.
My eyes! Randy!
And with that, Randall breathes his last gurgling breath, disappearing beneath a mass of writhing chimp bodies. The guards arrive, hacking the creatures down, but the damage is done. The guards announce that the show is over and that everyone needs to go home. Show's over, folks.
Nothing to see here.
The tent is silent, save for Randy's shallow, unsteady breaths. He stands motionless, eyes locked on the gore-covered remains of his father. His hands tremble, his mind is a void. The world around him fades into muffled noise. And then, like thunder crashing into fragile calm.
What in the bloody hell is going on in my fucking tent? Who shut down my show? Nobody shuts down my show but me, and only when I've squeezed every coin from every room in town.
He scans the carnage. His eyes land not on Randall's mangled corpse, not on the traumatized child, but on the butchered chimpanzees. He goes pale, then red, then bursts into sheer outrage. Skeeter, furious, kicking the nearest chimp body.
Son of a bitch! Look what you bastard goons did to my prized beasts! Do you have any idea how much those flea-ridden freaks cost me? Who's paying for this? I want restitution, and I want it now!
His wild gaze settles on Randy, ghostly pale, shaking, numb.
And you! I don't remember you buying a damn ticket, you little freeloading sack of shit! Guards! Do your fucking jobs for once and get this corpse out of my tent! Arrest this little thief! He belongs in a dungeon! Or throw him in the river for all I care.
Skeeter turns, speaking to himself.
All right, Skeeter, think. How are we gonna pivot this into gold? I got it!
Skeeter begins storming off.
I've got some chimp corpses to sell to the butcher. Get the fuck out of my way, you unwashed gawkers! Don't touch me! Fuck!
He trails off. The guards exchange uneasy glances. One of them sighs, stepping forward and pulling Randy away. The boy doesn't resist. He doesn't speak. He moves as if his limbs no longer belong to him. The guards bring Randy to their barracks. He barely acknowledges his surroundings. A plate of bread is placed in front of him. He eats without thinking, his stomach finally reminding him how little he'd had in the past 24 hours. The guards question Randy on what transpired. He recounts the story of his 10th birthday, in shock and feeling numb. The guard captain, a broad-shouldered man with sharp eyes and a quiet presence, watches him closely. When the guards have finished with their questioning, he approaches as they leave.
Rough birthday, huh?
Randy doesn't respond, he just stares at the floor. The captain leans forward, steepling his fingers.
You know, it sounds like you might need someone to throw you a bone, kid. Bone, that's bravery overcoming natural expectations. I'll tell you what, we'll get you home safe to your mammy. But if you can make your way back here a few days a week, and as long as your mammy's okay with it, well, maybe we can get you doing some odd jobs. Earn some coin, and maybe, if you're interested, I can teach you a few tricks to help you with defending yourself.
Randy finally looks up, just slightly. The guard captain leans in and lowers his voice conspiratorially.
I'm a real ninja.
Come on, Derek. Hold it together.
You wouldn't believe it looking at me, but trust me, kid. And I got an eye for a fellow ninja when I see one. The name is Haynes.
He winks. Something sparks in Randy's mind, a flicker buried deep beneath the trauma. He doesn't speak, but he doesn't reject the offer either. A guard escorts Randy back home. The walk is quiet, save for brief directions from the boy. The guard makes a few attempts at small talk. Nothing lands. Randy moves through the world as though floating outside himself. The road stretches ahead, dust kicking up underfoot. The silence between them lingers, thick and weighty. The guard clears his throat, searching for something to say.
You know, when I was a kid, I always thought the city was the most exciting place in the world. All the markets, the people, all the smells though, not always a good kind. Ever get a whiff of a tanner's shop? You think them hides himself rotten?
Randy says nothing. His gaze is distant, his fists clenched at his sides.
That was your first time, huh? Seeing the city? Bet it wasn't the experience you were hoping for.
Still no response. The guard scratches the back of his head, switching tactics.
You ever had honey cakes? Gods above, I had one once from this little stall near the palace gates. Fluffy, sweet, practically melted in my mouth. Maybe when things settle, you could go back and try one.
Randy's lips press into a thin line, but there's no flicker of interest. The guard exhales through his nose, thinking for a moment before giving a hesitant chuckle.
I once got chased by a rooster when I was a kid. Not exactly the same thing, but it was terrifying, I swear. But you win. Hands down.
That earns a brief, sharp glare from Randy, more a warning than anything else.
Yeah, so obviously very different situations. Mine was more flapping than mauling. And you had, well, considerably more screaming involved.
He winces as soon as he says it, sensing the poor choice of words. Randy's glare deepens. The guard clears his throat again and stares straight ahead, deciding silence might actually be the best option for now. Finally, they arrive. The guard informs Luann of the events that transpired.
And then the one big chimp there ripped his sideburn clean off, gouging his eyes out like wilted grapes, and crushed his head open on the ground not long after.
Luann does not burst into tears. She does not scream. She crosses her arms, exhales sharply, and shakes her head.
I always knew that dumb son of a bitch was gonna meet a violent end, and in the stupidest way possible.
She sighs, looking at Randy for the first time. Her tone softens, just slightly.
Randy, are you alright, hon?
Randy nods, but the motion is hollow.
I've got some pizza rolls on the table, hon. You go eat.
Luann turns to the guard.
Never you mind that. Let's take a good look at you. Now, what a big, strong man you are.
She eyes the guard up and down like she was judging a bull at a livestock auction.
What did you say your name was?
The guard, straightening up slightly.
My name's Lance, ma'am.
Luann gives him a once-over, an unreadable smirk pulling at the corner of her mouth.
Well, Lance, why don't you step inside and get yourself a drink of water? You must be awfully tired from all that walking.
Randy's memory quickly jumps forward in time.
Waka, waka, waka.
The streets of Randy's neighborhood are cracked and uneven, lined with crumbling buildings and scattered debris. The air smells of sweat and cheap ale. Shadows stretch across the ground as the sun sinks low. Randy walks alone, his shoulders tense, his gaze distant.
Oh, look who it is, our local ninja warrior.
Course, he ain't much of a ninja, is he? Couldn't even save his drunk-ass dad from getting his face eaten by monkeys.
Laughter erupts. They close in, surrounding him like wolves.
Come on, little ninja, show us your legendary moves.
They push him, shove him. Taunts blur together. Randy hears their venomous words, but it's distant, fading. Something else is rising in his mind, drawing out their jeers. Screams. Shrieks of enraged primates. The tearing of flesh. The desperate wails of his father begging for help that would never come. The nightmarish memory floods him, dragging him back to that tent, to the moment where he failed. Something snaps. Before the largest bully can shove him again, Randy lunges forward, faster than thought, faster than reason, the last 4 years of training taking over. His hand whips out into a knife hand strike, or shoto uchi as Randy would call it, rigid as steel, and drives it into the bully's throat. The bully, gasping, stumbling back and clutching his throat. His breath cuts short. Panic flashes in his wide eyes as he collapses, choking. The other bullies freeze, horrified. Randy exhales slowly. His body still hums with residual rage, but inside, it's quiet for the first time in years. The screaming primates in his mind have fallen silent. He smirks, just barely, and muttering under his breath says, "Nothing personal, kid." The other bullies scramble, grabbing their injured friend and hauling him away in a frenzied panic. None of them look back. None of them want to test him further. Randy watches them go, Then in the silence, the voice of his sensei, Haynes, echoes in his mind. You've got a lot of key points, kid. That's K for killer and I for instincts. Key, kid. Key. Killer instincts. His breath steadies, his pulse slows. A roaring sound begins to rise, crescendo, and then cease as Randy is startled awake from his sleep.
I know he wanted to go second, but you're up.
And if you want to see what happens inside this mountain, you're going to have to listen next time. And get the fuck out of here, fucking... What's his name?
Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. Go home.
Jesus.
Randy! I forgot. That was yours or Nick's?
That's mine, yeah.
Another master.
How the fuck do you write this stuff?
Amazing.
I don't know.
My sideburns! Yeah, the sideburn is a throwback to Adam Sandler.
Oh, yeah? I don't know that one. That's great, though.
How do you fucking do that? I don't understand.